If you're trying to lose weight or get lean, I found that lunches can make the biggest difference in actually seeing results or not. And at least during my 45-pound weight loss journey, that was the hardest part for me. I used to either skip lunch, think a protein bar counted, or most of the time I would grab fast food. Seems innocent enough, right? The problem was it typically was a day's worth of calories in just one meal. And that always led me into a spiral of craving and snacking the rest of the day, not to mention wasting a ton of money. To change all that, I finally created a super simple way to meal prep high protein lunches so I could avoid the fast food and finally start losing fat. So if you're eating or not eating lunch the way that I used to, or you're looking for the easiest meal prep method to make quick, healthy meals, today I'm sharing 3 high protein lunches that help me lose 45 pounds and are still a part of my weekly routine. Today we're making a salsa verde chicken bowl, a Mediterranean power plate, and a stir-fried beef bowl. These are some of my absolute favorite meals, and each one has between 30 and 40 grams of protein and under 500 calories. So if you're trying to burn fat, fuel your body, and actually enjoy your food, I made this video for you. Do me a favor and hit that like button. That tells me to make more videos just like this and helps other women find our community. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my new weekly videos helping you on your health and fitness journey. Plus, I do giveaways for my subscribers every single week. This week, I'm gonna be giving all of my subscribers these 3 lunch recipes in a printable ebook, along with 3 easy breakfast and my best meal prep tips. I'm gonna share how to win that in just a little bit, but for now, let's get started. Here's the thing, girls. I love food. I look forward to my meals, and these 3 are no exception. Especially if you are trying to eat healthier, if you're in a healthy caloric deficit trying to lose fat, you want to be able to enjoy the food that you're eating. Yes, food is fuel, and it's not always going to be decadent and crazy, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't still be delicious. I've shared a ton of videos with my weight loss story, and most recently one about how I kept it off, and mindset was really a part of that. When it comes to staying consistent and being able to make sure that you are eating in that healthy calorie range every day to get results, you have to actually enjoy the food that you're eating. So I'm going to break down kind of how I approach my meal prep. It is such a simple way to do it, and again, you'll get that free ebook with all the details. But one of the best ways, especially if you're trying to make a lot of meals at once and do it in a short amount of time, my prep takes about 30 minutes most of the time. I usually will pick 2 to 3 proteins, 2 to 3 vegetables, and 1 or 2 starches, so like rices or sweet potatoes. It keeps my ingredients minimal so I don't spend too much money, and I can mix and match but come up with totally different recipes that all feel unique and exciting every day. For our lunches, we have 2 different chickens and then our beef. So I'm gonna start with the chickens because those usually take about 20 minutes to cook. The first one is gonna go in the Instapot. I'm just gonna take a package of boneless, skinless, thin sliced chicken breast and about half of this jar. It's a late July salsa verde. The key is that you just want something with no sugars added, super simple ingredients, lower sodium if you can find it. I'm literally just gonna dump these together in the Instapot, set it on high pressure for about 7 minutes and let it cook. Then for our Mediterranean plate, I'm actually gonna do my secret special way of doing my chicken. If you watched my videos, you know this keeps it so moist and tender. We're gonna do that in an air fryer, and I'll show you everything that goes in that in just 1 second. For our Mediterranean plate, I'm gonna put the chicken in this bowl with garlic. I chopped up some garlic, I have fresh lemon, and then my secret ingredient to keep your chicken perfect no matter how you cook it is Greek yogurt. You can use full fat Greek yogurt, you can use 0% Greek yogurt. It honestly doesn't matter. It's still going to lock in so much moisture and have it tasting so yummy. So I'm just gonna put about 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt in with this. It's a little over a pound of chicken, a whole lime, and it was like 3 garlic cloves we're gonna mash up and just mix it all up in there. I added a little herb mixture in here. It's just like a garlic powder with parsley and oregano just to add some more flavor. So we have all of that in here. I'm gonna throw this in the air fryer for about 18 minutes at 400. So the reason why I put this in the air fryer and the salsa verde chicken in the Instapot is for that bowl, I want it to be like shredded chicken, and that's what the Instapot's gonna do with that liquid and the juices from the salsa. But I want my Mediterranean plate to be more of a grilled chicken breast. So the air fryer is gonna get it nice and crispy. It's it's time to get our stir-fry beef bowl going. Just a reminder, I have that free printable with all 3 of these recipes, plus my meal prep tips and 3 easy high protein breakfast recipes that you can get. Every single subscriber is gonna get one, so I'm gonna share how to download that in just a minute. But let me show you how I'm gonna get started with this beef bowl. Oh, and by the way, at the end of this, I'm gonna show you how I portion them and put everything together too. For a beef bowl, I have 2 pounds of grass-fed beef. You don't have to use grass-fed. I use 93:7 for the fat ratio as well. I just like having it as lean as possible, but getting all of the nutrients from the beef. So we're gonna be using this. I'm gonna make it in a giant like pan, just so I have a ton for the week. And it's just gonna make it easy for lunches. You can do it for dinner, but especially if you're feeding a family, you can also put it in the freezer once you put it all together and pull them out for the next week too. This is one of those things that might seem obvious to some of you, but to others not. And it was a huge game changer for me in trying to really make sure I stuck to a lower calorie, healthy caloric range to lose fat. Most of us underestimate our calories by almost 50%, which is wild because it just sneaks in places. So when I'm cooking, especially something that's a little fattier like a beef, I try to use as little oil or cooking sprays or anything as possible because it doesn't need it, but I'm always so nervous about my nonstick pans. So if you use something like this, which is non-aerosol, but it's just an avocado oil spray, it's gonna help cut down the amount of oil you use probably by at least 50% versus pouring it or throwing some butter in. So little things can make a huge difference, especially when it comes to our fats as we're trying to be in a healthy caloric deficit. I love sauces. Like, I need things to be saucy, but they're usually your worst enemy when you're trying to lose weight because there are so many calories and sugars and fats, but especially when we talk about things like kind of more of that teriyaki style bowl, those are usually loaded with sugar. So instead of buying a teriyaki sauce, I'm just gonna do my own little mixture. I make this one all the time. All you need is some amino acids. This basically tastes just like soy sauce. Some coconut aminos, this adds a little bit of sweetness. I'm gonna do some, this is a sriracha basically, and a little white rice vinegar. You can put ginger in there. So I'm gonna show you the mixture I make. It just makes this really yummy sauce that I'm gonna add to the veggies and the beef once it's kind of cooked up. Okay, I know putting the asparagus in with the frozen veggies is a weird move, but hear me out. I want my veggies and everything to be able to cook at the kind of the same time as my beef when I go to warm them up the next day when I'm gonna eat it for lunch. So having the frozen veggies, those will sometimes defrost, so it'll work out, but I figured this way I can 2 birds, 1 stone. Get those veggies cooked, add the fresh asparagus so I have even more asparagus and more greens in that mixture, and then put it all together. I haven't ever actually done that before, but I think it's gonna work out. All of our meats are done, so we have the chicken, both chickens are done over here, the beef is done. Now it's time we get to kind of start putting everything together. So I'm gonna show you how the chicken looks now that it is cooked, and then how I throw together these 3 high protein bowls. Ooh, steaming. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that out and get it all shreddy, and then our grilled chicken and the beef. Start putting this stuff together. I'm just finishing up some of the veggies and the rice. I love doing rice in the Instant Pot, but obviously that would take another 20 minutes. So instead I'm just gonna use little frozen rice packs for my bowls. You can totally put these meals together, obviously like the night before, or if you're someone who wants to have them done for the week and you have little prep containers, you can prep them all individually. So I'll show you how I do that too. The other thing that's great about these recipes is you can easily swap out the proteins for either, like if you're a vegetarian, like a tofu or something, you could do shrimp, you could swap for fish and still use like similar principles to make your meals however you want to make them. I don't season the beef with anything except a little garlic powder. That way I don't have to use it all for these teriyaki bowls. I can use some for like a taco bowl another night or tacos, and I just add the seasoning in the moment or when I'm actually prepping in my containers. I don't remember if I said this, but I always put the chicken, the shredded chicken, back in with the juices and sauce to let it like really soak up all the flavor before I pack it up or do anything else with it. But I pulled out this chicken. It was just like a nice little light grill, a little bit of a crunch, but super moist, like just on those edges. And I can smell that lemon and garlic, which is just what I want for this Everything is done cooking. It's time to put it all together. So I'm gonna be putting one of each of the recipes in a container as if I were taking it on the go. You can make 4 or more of each of these because there are plenty to go around, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I portion it. If you're not measuring or weighing your food, which you don't need to, but if you are trying to lose weight, I would recommend doing it for at least a week to really understand how much you need of each food. But I'll show you kind of my cheaters, easy way to make sure you're getting enough nutrients, especially to hit those protein goals. You're gonna need 2 measuring cups, a full cup and a half cup. Our cup is for our veggies and our proteins. The half cup is for our starches. So for this salsa verde taco bowl, I'm gonna actually do a combo, kind of a half and half of jasmine rice and cauliflower rice. That's gonna cut the carbs a little bit while still giving you a good amount of carbs, but also allow you to have a more full, satiating meal. So a lot of times if you lower your carbs a bit, which is gonna happen inevitably if you're lowering your total calories and keeping protein really high, you want those things that are really fibrous that are gonna fill you up and make you not feel hungry anymore, which protein is good for, but veggies with all that fiber really do. So I'm gonna do just under half a cup of each of these to mix that up and just make the portion even bigger. Then I'm gonna take those veggies that I got from Costco and added the asparagus. The great thing is I have a rule, if you've done any of my meal plans, if you followed me for a long time, these veggies, you literally can eat as much as you want of. They're gonna, again, help you feel full, give you a ton of micronutrients. So I'm gonna do, oh, this is my half cup. That's good. I was like, I'm gonna do 2 of these. So getting like a nice full cup in there to make sure you get plenty, and you can use bigger bowls if you need them. And then let's go grab that chicken. I love having all of this juicy chicken in there. So I'm just gonna take my cup. This is gonna give me about 4 ounces of chicken breast, which is gonna give me that like 30 grams of protein. We want it to look nice and pretty, so we're gonna put it in this corner and let that juice kind of like seep into everything else. I'm gonna top this with a little fresh green onion, and then I like adding things that are gonna add more micronutrients and a little bit of a crunch. So I'm actually gonna do just a tiny bit, probably like a teaspoon or so of sunflower seeds. These actually add a lot of really good flavor too. And then when I'm ready to eat this, I'm gonna obviously heat it up. I like doing a dollop of Greek yogurt. It's almost like a sour cream, but again, you're adding more protein. This is 0% fat, and then some hot sauce right on top. Next, we have the Mediterranean power plate or bowl. You can kind of do it however you want. Since we're taking it on the go, I'm gonna put it in just kind of this longer container. I like to eat things a little bit more like salad-y, but I'm gonna do some spinach on the bottom. And this is the nice thing, is you can totally like mix it up. I feel like this is like not doing it justice because I want to pack this thing. If you had a big plate and kind of spread it out, make it look all pretty. I'm gonna use some of those fresh bell peppers, sliced cucumber. What I realized would be really good with this that I just didn't think to get and don't have is olives. So if you have like Kalamata olives, those are gonna add some good healthy fats. I would just make sure you only do like a tablespoon or so. And same thing, you can eyeball it, you can use your palm, but about a cup of chicken or one of those breasts right in there. I love sun-dried tomatoes. So these are ones that are in like an oil, which I usually get them without it, but this is actually gonna be nice once it kind of defrosts. 1 to 2 tablespoons of hummus. This is gonna give you good fiber, some good carbohydrates, and healthy fats. And then I made this tahini dressing. It's literally just tahini, water, lemon, some garlic powder. I just put that right on the chicken. You could also just do like a little fresh olive oil. Last but not least, our teriyaki beef bowl. So I'm gonna go back to that 50-50 split with the cauliflower rice and jasmine rice. You could just use the same veggies that you used for the other bowl if you want. I just wanted to get these ones in here because they had like a little bit more of some of those like stir-fry veggies. Oh no, I forgot my artichokes for a Mediterranean bowl plate. Okay, I'm gonna add these. These are just grilled artichokes. They're already like cooked and everything. I'm just gonna add them because I love artichokes. This thing is so heavy. And about a cup of that beef. And now is when I add the sauce. So again, I didn't cook these with any sauces or anything, because if I'm like, oh my gosh, actually, I want this to be a taco bowl, I could totally do that. But I also want to mitigate the amount of sauces I'm using. They don't need to be cooked in it. You're gonna get all that flavor when you add them at the end. And that is a little hack that I've learned through the years that really can save hundreds of calories, which seems like a lot, but like it is. It's crazy how much those sneak in. So I'm just gonna drizzle this. You can always add more. You can't take it back out. So for this one, I'm gonna do some pepitas and some sesame seeds on top. And I am a sriracha girl, so I'm gonna put a little drizzle on top of this too. All right, girls, that is it. Super quick, easy, healthy, high protein lunches that you can meal prep ahead of time to have ready to go so that you don't go through that drive-through, you don't end up avoiding eating lunch, and you don't just grab a bar thinking that's going to be sufficient. Because remember, they're all 30 to 40 grams of protein each and under 500 calories, making them a perfect high protein meal that'll keep you full, help curb any cravings, and help you get results. And as promised, I have the free ebook with all of these recipes, plus 3 high protein breakfast recipes and my tips to meal prep that all of my subscribers are gonna get for free. So all you have to do is make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below with one of the recipes you wanna try from this or something you want me to make in my next meal prep video. Once you've done that, you'll see I pinned a link here in the comments. Click on that link and all you need to do is drop your email and I will send the recipe ebook directly to your inbox. I have been waiting to finish this video to eat my lunch, so now I get to choose which one I'm gonna have, and I think I'm gonna go for the teriyaki bowl. So love you guys, I will see you next week.